Nothing is more unsettling, but at the same time uplifting when we see our favorite protagonist live in a survival genre film. Survival films have one or more characters who make hard efforts for survival. These films often have overlapping genres with adventure, mystery, or psychological thrillers, but the film is focused on a single protagonist who makes efforts with their hard life. If you are interested in such movies, sit back and enjoy as we round up the top 10 best survival movies of all time. Number 10. Buried. Buried is a tragic story of Paul Conroy, played by Ryan Reynolds, of being buried alive in a coffin. Conroy is a truck driver and takes an assignment in Iraq. However, while he is on driving duty, he and several other workers are ambushed by the terrorists, and some pass out after getting hit by the rock. Paul Conroy is now a hostage and wakes up in the coffin with a BlackBerry, flashlight, glow stick, pocket knife, and a lighter. He calls his workplace in Ohio, his family, and the US State Department, but none of them prove to be helpful. The FBI connects him with the hostage working group with Dan Brenner, who assures he will be safe, but a series of events and delay in rescue leads to Conroy's death in the coffin.
Take your clothes off.
Oh.
Take them off. Every goddamn stitch.
You don't want to do this.
Do it.
All right. All right.
Number 9. The Road. The Road is a post-apocalyptic film that revolves around a man and his son as they try to survive an unknown extinction event. They look for supplies and avoid the savage gangs as they travel on the road towards a coast. During their journey, they face many hurdles, but the man is resilient enough to overcome those. However, he gets shot on his leg, and over the time his condition deteriorates, causing his death. The boy is left alone before a man, his wife, their 2 children, and a dog take the boy in after assuring they are good people. Through the bleak and miserable survival story of the boy and the man, the ending leaves a hopeful, happy feeling.
What are you whining about? Why don't you just eat your vegetables? Hey, all right, here's the deal. Look.
At number 8, we have another post-apocalyptic action thriller, I Am Legend. This movie will be cathartic to all those trying to survive the COVID-19 pandemic. I Am Legend also revolves around a post-apocalyptic world, where 90% of the population dies due to a virus that is the cure of cancer, slowly becoming lethal. The rest, 9% of the world, is infested with Darkseeker, who became mutant, cannibalistic zombies that are vulnerable to UV radiation. The remaining 1% of the population is immune to the virus and is the prey of the mutant Darkseekers. Robert Neville, a scientist played by Will Smith, is a sole survivor and desperately tries to find a cure for the virus using his own immune blood. Perhaps mankind's last hope, but Neville is already aware that he is running out of time. Number 7. All is Lost. All is Lost narrates the story of a man lost on a boat in the Indian Ocean. After a collision with a shipping container, the man wakes to find water flooding inside the boat through a hole, due to which his radio and navigation equipment are damaged and he unknowingly sails into a violent storm. Although he barely escapes with his life, he may not survive for long due to no food and drinking water. Since all is lost, now he must put all his efforts and reach a nearby shipping lane, hoping to be picked up by a large ship. Virtually the only hope for rescue. The film stars Robert Redford as the only cast member and barely has any dialogues.
Alaska? Son, what the hell are you running from?
At number 6, we have Into the Wild. Into the Wild is another biographical adventure film that surrounds the life of protagonist Christopher McCandless, who hitchhikes from North America into the Alaskan wilderness. After he graduates high school, he comes to know that he and his sister, Karine, were born out of wedlock. He decides to leave his family and travels to different cities before finally plans to go to Alaska. 4 months later, he is seen living in harsh conditions with nothing to eat and realizes that happiness is shared with others and thinks of returning home. Eventually, he dies inside a rusting bus by accidentally consuming poisonous plants while trying to survive on them.
Traveling faster than a high-speed bullet up towards your altitude. Now copy.
Copy all. Put a bow on it, Doc.
Number 5. Gravity. Gravity is a science fiction thriller film about American astronauts stranded in space trying to return to Earth. The Space Shuttle Explorer is commanded by Matt Kowalski and Dr. Ryan Stone. Their work is interrupted when a high-speed flying debris hits the space shuttle, drifting both of them into space. With no communication to Earth, their only hope lies in making it to the International Space Station. The situation gets worse when Kowalski sacrifices his life to save Stone. Now Stone is on her own and makes every attempt to return to Earth safely.
That's for sure. But like I always say, your supreme selfishness.
Number 4. 127 Hours. 127 Hours is a biographical survival film that narrates the story of an avid mountaineer, Aaron Ralston. He goes hiking in Utah's Canyonlands National Park without informing anyone about his whereabouts. As he ascends the Slot Canyon in Blue John Canyon, he accidentally slips and a boulder trapped his right hand and wrist with the wall. For the next 5 days, Aaron puts all his efforts to move the boulder and calls for help, but realizes that he is all alone. Eventually, he is able to free himself by breaking his arm bones and using the multi-tool to slowly amputate it. The movie received many accolades for directorial efforts from Danny Boyle and a terrific performance from James Franco.
The camera. Roger that. Pointing the camera.
Number 3. The Martian. Being in space alone is scary. The Martian is a science fiction film that revolves around a botanist, Mark Watney, who was accidentally left behind on Mars by his teammates in the Ares 3 mission. With limited amounts of supplies, Mark tries to grow food for himself and tries to establish communication back on Earth. Ironically, NASA's satellite planner notices movement around the Ares 3 space station and realizes that Watney is alive. Through numerous challenges, they are successful in the end to bring Watney back to Earth.
The world is, of course, the world itself. Johnny, have the happiest birthday ever. Score your drink.
Number 2. Castaway. Castaway is a survival film that tells the story of Chuck Nolan's survival on a deserted island. Chuck is an analyst executive and resolves productivity problems at FedEx depots. He is in a long-term relationship with Kelly Frears, and his busy schedule often interferes between them. During Christmas, he flies to Malaysia, but unfortunately, due to a violent storm, the FedEx cargo plane crashes in the Pacific Ocean. He escapes on an inflatable raft and reaches an uninhabitable island. He lives there for the next 4 years, surviving from 11 washed-up FedEx cargoes. This time, again, he tries to go back on the raft, but a storm throws him and is eventually saved by a passing ship.
I can muzzle you if you like. Take away the suffering real quick and easy. Whenever it has to know that you give up, I do that.
Taking the top spot is The Revenant. The Revenant deserves the top position on our list for various reasons. This epic revisionist Western film dates back to 1823 about the survival of man against nature. Huge names like Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hardy are attached to the film, making it a masterpiece movie in recent times. Hugh Glass suffers major injuries after getting attacked by a grizzly bear and then left for dead by members of his own hunting team. Fueled with revenge, Glass now set on a mission to track down the man who betrayed him as well as find a way back to civilization by utilizing his survival skills. So that's a wrap of the top 10 best survival movies of all time. Did we miss out on your favorite one? Let us know in the comments below which other films should have been part of this list. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more awesome content.